Hello, and welcome to the first edition of Bachelor Party with Brian and Kyle. I know it's been a while since you've seen us if you watched some of the former podcasts, but The Bachelorette is back, and it's one of the most entertaining things on television. You go through Twitter, you see the people live tweeting it. I've been doing that for years now. Um, it's one of the best things ever, whether it's Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor Pad, Bachelor in Paradise. It's just great TV all the way through, and I've been watching it for a long time. Kyle's been watching it for a long time. We figured you want to hear us talk about it. We'll probably run about
Yeah,
that. There'll be some people to watch. So, Kyle, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I mean, last night's episode ended at a really good time, and then like 10 or 15 minutes after it ended, the Chicago Cubs lost in a walk off. So that usually would bring me down pretty hardcore, but
The Bachelor.
great first episode of The Bachelorette made it a lot better.
Okay, so I mean, just what are your thoughts on the show in general? Because
Uh,
I'll get to mine after you.
So, I mean, I know you've been a long-time viewer. For the longest time, it was one of those things that I never really watched. I mean, I would see that it'd be on, and I'd be like, I want to get into it, and then I never could. And then I started getting into kind of illegal gambling of the show in terms of doing brackets, and I'm now a commissioner in a fantasy Bachelorette league, which I mean I won last season.
You didn't invite me to. Okay.
I got some news for I might have some news for you by the end of this episode, but we'll keep talking there. But ever since then, I've really just kind of dove deep into the show, and it is one of those things where it's like if I'm having a really bad day, I can at least watch a TV show about a bunch of people trying to find love and know like God, they're kind of embarrassing themselves on TV. At least I'm not doing anything that bad, so it's got that going for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hate watching the show. Like everything ever, but at the same time, I'm just sitting there, like just cringing the whole time because not only are the people making asses out of themselves, but I know that those producers are assholes. I hate Chris Harrison. Story actually, Caitlin, Caitlin Bristow, Bachelorette last time, loved her.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Absolutely.
Sister's friend ran into her in Nashville. She tells all, women tell all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Says the producers used to get her drunk and try to make her make bad decisions. Guess what? She fucked Nick. She said that they tried to get her to not like Sean, who she eventually picked. So probably because America loved him and they wanted him to be the next Bachelor. And she said she fucking hates Chris Harrison. Like he's a slimeball douchebag. So if you noticed, if you watched the Tanner and Jade wedding, like everyone did, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah. Appointment viewing. Come on.
Absolutely. There's not a lot of screen time for Caitlyn and Sean, which is why I was a little bit surprised to see her there to give JoJo some advice. I'm sure that behind the scenes she had some different advice to give her, but that was interesting to me.
We'll have to talk about the difference between the women to like hyping up a Bachelorette and the men hyping up the Bachelor, because I've noticed some things that absolutely make no sense. Where I guess I will, to kind of sum it up, the men are a lot more like cautious, and they're like, dude, like don't make out with anyone on the first night. Like you gotta wait. Like everybody.
But also,
The girls are like, well, no, we make out first night. Like you just do that. Like the girls like fully embrace it, and then the dudes kind of are like, no, we're gonna be fine on this. We're not gonna make out. And then they like most times they don't, but like still like there's a double standard there somewhere, and I still can't find it.
I loved Chris Soules last year before giving Ben advice like, careful how many ladies you kiss, because I kissed a whole bunch of ladies and shit like that. He's the fucking worst, so I'm just glad we're done with him.
Almost as bad as Jordan Rogers just throwing up the fact that his parents have been married for 36 years. Dude, come on. Like just throwing it in everyone's face.
That his brother's Aaron Rodgers really the whole first night. So I love Jordan. So let's get before we get into that. Thoughts? JoJo is the Bachelor. She got her heart broken last year. Ben obviously ended up picking Lauren B. Told them both he loved them. JoJo was, I'm winning this. I'm gonna win this. Fuck you. got her heart ripped out, and then they bring her back after the whole internet went wild, even though they had already picked Kayla to be the next Bachelorette. They went back on it, kind of fucked up. What are your thoughts on JoJo as a whole?
I think I was skewed.
My thoughts out there.
I was skewed on JoJo because of how much I liked Kayla. Kayla, I thought last year was going to win. She just seemed like really like it seemed like she was perfect for that show because I guess her personality fit more. Where JoJo is one of those people that comes off like I'm not gonna say I love you and I'm gonna hold everything back, even though she completely just tells people she loves them and she has like another guy on the hook. Like once the other guy scenario played in late when Ben did his hometown visit where that flower show up, I get it. She can't control that at all. Women be shopping and dudes are crazy, but like. There's a reason he did that, and it's because the door wasn't fully closed. And I'm going to guess there's going to be even more drama, and somehow that's going to play back into this. I don't know. I'm with you. I'm not a huge JoJo fan. Maybe she turns it around this season, and like now that like she's not competing with anybody, she can be cooler, but I don't know. I love her family, besides her brothers. I love her mom. I'll rephrase that. I love that her mom was so stressed during the hometown visits that she started chugging wine out of a bottle. That's the power move only that I respect and needed to be done.
Great arc there. And then I'm not insulting people who drink because if any of you know me, I do. I hate JoJo. I hate her down. You say you're with me, you're not the biggest fan. I despise her. So if ever you're watching this and you realize, man, he's being really negative, when I see her, my bones hurt. I just want to punch something. I cannot fucking stand her. And the reason is because everyone thinks she's so amazing and lovely. Like my girlfriend, no big deal, have a girlfriend, but thinks she's the prettiest person on earth. And she's gorgeous. I will say this one thing for her. That dress last night, oh my God.
With my God.
In the butt. Not to be a misogynist, but whew, killed it. However, hate her guts.
Absolutely.
I can see I have a great judge of character, which is why I'm great for this show, because every character, every contestant, I can tell you. I can tell you who's real, who's in it for the right reasons and not. I fucking hate JoJo. She's in it for the fame. Her boyfriend, as you were talking about, came out after the day after she got her heart broken on national TV or whatever, or the day after Ben let her know, hey, I didn't actually love you, I was just telling you that so I can have sex with you. Which, I mean, it happens. But
shouldn't be said, but it was said. It's a reality TV show where you're supposed to find love in like this short amount of time. The L word's going to slip out.
She went back to her ex the next day and was saying, I loved you this whole time. Then there's the shit with, if you remember Jubilee, a lot of racism over the years on Bachelor. I think the fact that there's never been a black one is insane. Jubilee was a very strong woman. They made her out to look like a psycho because she made sarcastic comments that no one else gets. I get that a lot. People don't always get my sense of humor. JoJo did not. JoJo's from Texas. JoJo goes by JoJo. JoJo's a racist. No doubt in my mind, she's a racist, and it showed last night, and we'll get to that later. But she's a racist. She hated Jubilee. You could see her just being a fucking bitch for no reason, always talking shit behind her back. Jubilee didn't fucking deserve that. So there's that. And I think that this year, without her being a mean girl and having to be a mean girl to people, and the producers sucking her dick so much, that she's going to come off as cool and everything. And another thing with the bitchiness towards other women. Didn't know that Ben told Lauren that he loved her, so after they eliminated Kayla and they do a cheers, she's like, may the better woman win, because she thought, since he had told her he loved her, that she was in. Well, guess what, bitch? You fucking lost, and I love it. Now you're back, and it sucks, and I hate that I have to watch this season, but it's something I gotta do.
I feel like JoJo is one of those girls that is going to be like, I can hang out with the guys, I can have a couple, I can drink as much as you guys, and that, like, I don't care if a girl feels like that, or if a girl can actually hang out. That's awesome.
Possible.
But 95% of the time, the girls who say that and who back it up and who act like, oh, I'm one of the guys, end up throwing up midway through drinking a fishbowl by themselves because they're not used to that, like some people in this conversation. Like, it's not a bad thing, but sometimes it's almost like that, and also like her trying to play like how some parents will try to be the cool parents. Like, look at me, I'm so cool, I can relate to you. She's doing that a little bit too much. She just needs to calm down. She's a bachelorette. She's not competing with anybody. She's trying to find love.
A few reminders with that you just reminded me. She tries to be the cool girl, and I'm so down to earth. Couple more fake things. Y'all. She says y'all. I know that she's from Texas. No other part of her has like a southern drawl or anything like that. So when she's saying y'all, and that's why I hate that Luke guy is on there, because he's a little southern and he has a farm and all that shit. And it's just gonna give her an excuse whenever they're hanging out. She's gonna act like she's this down home southern girl. Fuck you, you're not. You're a bitch. Sorry.
But at the same time, Luke now has like an advantage where he's like, if it's like in Zoolander, like when he hears the music, like he clicks back into that like being mesmerized. All of a sudden, you just say y'all. JoJo's gonna love you. You get to at least the finals.
Well, then she's gonna be like, oh my god, now I can pretend that I'm southern and make people like me on the TV.
She does refer to it as the TV when she's on the show.
And then also, you talked about, oh, I can be one of the guys. How bitchy was she about like everyone getting drunk last night? It's the first night. People are gonna get hammered. I do want to talk about that. But she was just like, oh, everyone's so hammered right now. Well, no fucking shit. It's an open bar, and there's a bunch of nervous guys, and that's what's supposed to happen. That's what happens every single time. Like, it's never gonna not happen. So people stop fucking being surprised.
Let's get into that, because I know we're kind of going to transition to maybe how the show can get better while recapping. And one of the things I always think is like the show can be so much better if they allow people to be themselves and drink. Because if you have an open bar and you're meeting a bunch of new people, you're really nervous because you don't want to leave on the first night, you're gonna like tend to drink a little bit more, just out of nervousness, out of like awkwardness, out of the fact that there's free booze in front of you. And finally they had not only Daniel get obnoxiously drunk, which I don't believe.
I can talk about Daniel for the entire show. I can do a whole show on Daniel.
Honestly, like he comes out and he says he does the damn Daniel. Flops, just absolutely terrible. And then he has the balls to be like, during his one-on-one, which he'd have been drinking at that point, to be like, like what I said earlier, like, how funny that, like, it. That was
one of the best scenes in Bachelor history to me. One of the best in Bachelor history. There's been a lot of those scenes, and I know that if you really stack them up, it doesn't compare. But the fact that he tried the damn Daniel thing, it didn't work. She had never heard of it, and then he was awkwardly like, "Oh, you like don't look in the internet? You been on the internet lately about damn Daniel," and he fucking loved it. He thought it was gonna be like, "Damn, JoJo, how is she gonna make that comparison?"
Oh my god! So, but first of all,
you know that guy, when Damn Daniel came out, and trust me, I love Damn Daniel. He sent that to all his friends, all of Canada.
Or he didn't send it to anybody, but he was just like fully embracing that people were sending it to him. Like he was trying to be like, it doesn't matter, but like it's kind of funny, right? And then like there'd be like that day that somebody didn't bring up Damn Daniel, be like, hey guys, have you seen Damn Daniel? I'm like, hold on, let me pull it up on my phone. It's this really funny thing.
You know my name's Daniel, right? Like my name's Daniel, and he was wearing shoes, and it's on the internet. Like, do you not look at the internet?
Also, he comes out and says like, when it's clear that he's going to be the drunkest there, he comes out and says like, well, first of all, it says Canadian, and he's like, well, I don't drink that much. In what fucking world does a Canadian, like, I don't want to stereotype people, but like that's all I hear about Canadians is that they drink a lot. Their beer has higher alcohol content, like just across the board, even their Budweisers. Or America's, I'm sorry. And it is incredible to think that there'd be somebody, it's like a college kid being like, nah, I don't drink. That's bullshit. Like
that's like saying, that's like, who's the Mexican guy that got sent home? Peter from Chicago. He had a little Mexican mustache, so I'm just assuming his mustache is like him coming up and saying like, oh, I don't usually stab a bunch of people. You know what I mean?
I know, right? Well, you can be honest on this show.
Honestly, other than the racism from JoJo, which, let's point out, we'll talk about who got sent home, but Wasn't keeping a lot of the minorities.
Also, but saying again, like, Daniel gets drunk. You also have Robbie, who like brought her a bottle of wine and then ended up getting so drunk that he tried to give JoJo water.
Robbie's gay. No, that was a different person.
That was a different guy?
Yeah, because she sent in that guy, but the guy who brought the wine is still around, and he is gay as they come.
But like that
picture now, yeah, he's gay.
He's gay. I mean, right? Calls him like he sees him.
He's a competitive swimmer. He's probably looking at dudes in the locker room. A lot of people are naked in locker rooms. But one last thing about Daniel, I'm so glad she kept him. Everyone was pissed, but obviously producers make you keep him. But I love him. He's electric, and I can't wait for more of him.
The odds of him surviving
wearing those underwears, jacked. I thought he was the pro swimmer because when he jumped in the pool, I was like, is that Michael Phelps?
Curveball, it was Michael Phelps. Oh, this is all a huge advertisement for the Olympics.
You want to talk about Jordan Rodgers being on there, brother of Aaron Rodgers, my favorite team's quarterback, Super Bowl MVP, regular season MVP twice.
I get a few months out of my year where I don't have to think about Aaron Rodgers.
Like a final contestant too.
Yeah. The best part is this is going like I don't know when the last episode is, but it's gonna lead up to like Bears Packers that week, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, this is awesome that I just get to be constantly miserable.
The hometown dates.
I kind of hope you know what I'm really hoping for, that Aaron really hates his brother and like really doesn't associate with them, but Jordan's like, no, like we're really good friends, but Aaron's like, I don't.
Way cooler than him. Also, one being Olivia Munn's
sister-in-law,
gotta be huge. One more thing about that. Did you see what happened with Jordan Rodgers?
Oh, his girlfriend. Yes.
Yes. Those who didn't see it, if we had a good producer of the show, he'd flash it on, but he probably doesn't know how. Sorry.
It happens.
I know you're like a radio guy, like you're on.
Yeah, I'm used to talking, not like actually doing work. Yeah. I'm no Daniel and his internet knowledge, but like I'm pretty good.
So if you missed it, Jordan's ex goes on Instagram, was not very happy that he was complaining like, oh, I guess she didn't like me because I ride the bench. She said, no, it's not that you ride the bench that I couldn't stay with you. It was the cheating. So he's a cheating scumbag. That's awesome.
It's going, but like
for next week for more bullshit. So she's just gonna keep doing this, and then she's trying to say that he's trying to get famous. But really, if you're posting Instagram posts and airing out your dirty laundry, who's really the bitch trying to get famous here?
The best part too is Jordan like how I always take first impression rose, except Juan Pablo's season, because it made absolutely no sense why that one girl who was like an opera singer who had no personality got the first impression rose.
Loved her. And she's still around. She's friends with a lot of girls. I think she's a lot cooler than she seemed to be on the show.
She was just way too nervous. She couldn't open up, whatever it is. But people kind of had a feeling in that first impression rose that person wasn't going to make it that far. Jordan, though, he's going to make it to the top 5, top 6. And somehow that cheating stuff is going to come out, and it's going to be like, will he win with his cheating? He's going to win. He's going to win.
He's a front runner. But also, we were talking about famous people being on the show. Jordan Rodgers. How about James Taylor, songwriter?
Big deal. I can't believe you know what? He was in the movie Funny People, and he looked really old.
They say he's only 29. Maybe it's not the same guy. I thought it was. I'll have to look into that more.
There's not a doubt in my mind. If I was in that house, which I couldn't be because I also have a girlfriend, like no big deal, but it's a thing. There's no doubt in my mind that I would hate him from the beginning, not only with the guitar, but then he starts playing the guitar because he thinks like, oh man, the guys are really gonna like me playing some tunes. Right. And then because I would request Rocky Top, I would request Usher's Burn and Confessions Part 1 and 2 because come on. And
playing the guitar, I believe, but
I mean, if your name is James Taylor, you got to learn how to play that on the guitar. Just
I like James. I thought he was really nice and cool. So But I get it. The person that brings a guitar to the party, or like if you're at a bonfire and they're just doing it for the girls, like you see in Animal House when Bluto just takes the guitar and just smashes the shit out of it. Fuck you for get your guitar out of my party. More things, like the DJ who brought All for One on. Love All for One. More famous people. Wells was his name. That's a stupid name, but I liked him.
Nice. Another chance where Usher's Burn and What Would You Do by City High would have also worked instead of some Brian McKnight. But whatever, that's his choice. He does what he wants. So.
Are we allowed to talk shit about Marines, or is that off limits?
I mean, episode 1's kind of it's a hard time to do a hot take on it. What were you thinking?
That guy, that short guy, he's
Luke?
No. Luke wasn't No, it's like David or something. Alex.
Oh yeah.
He just doing push-ups and shit. Get out of here.
His introduction, he was hanging out with his twin brother and his wife. Yeah, awkward, like that was the most awkward third reel I've ever seen, because it wasn't like his brother and his wife are like, sitting separately or not sitting that close. No, they were like his arm was around her. It was clearly romantic for them, with Alex just staring at them. So a little weird.
A few more guys just want to rapid fire. The guy who awkwardly kissed her. Who was that? Looks like Luke. He was on the couch and like kissed her.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of what his name was though.
He was a civil engineer, 26 years old.
Oh, it was Will, and he was also that one who dropped the cards out of like.
That was kind of funny, actually. It was horribly executed and very awkward, but I thought it was kind of clever. He's just an awkward guy, but I feel bad because no big deal, have a girlfriend, and no big deal kissed her on the first date. Horribly. Did an awful job. Thank God she gave me a second chance. It was like on the way back I was just cringing. So I feel for him.
You wait like 4 dates in, from what I've heard and from what I've maybe done with my girlfriend, like no big deal, but like you wait a little bit of time for me. But I see how if you're doing it right away, it's not going to go well.
Yeah. I'm an adult, so I can do it on the first date. But two more guys. Another electric guy, the erectile dysfunction guy. I've had my history with that disease. Everyone knows it. He's such a fucking weirdo and a creep and a little pussy, and I can't believe that she picked him. I love it.
My favorite part was she's like commenting, and I'm sure you and I were doing the same, when like the first like 7 guys came out, the most handsome guys I've ever seen, and she's like, oh, all the guys are good looking.
I don't see it. I think that this cast sucks. I think that no one is better than Ben was, so she's kind of fucked.
I mean that's a tough comparison to live up to. However, Jordan does go back to his high school a lot, judging by his little intro thing, which Ben also loved to do. So that's going to be just a perfect transition.
But no, this guy, the biggest thing with me, when that Jake guy came back, which was a total bachelor, like, oh, are we going to create drama? But no, I thought that she was going to send him home just to make America like her. But this guy, the fucking erectile dysfunction, Evan, was like, he's already got his chance, and people are getting all pissed off. You know who else has already had their fucking chance? JoJo, the bitch you're competing for. So shut the fuck up when it comes down to that. You can't just be on this show once and be like, oh, guess they don't deserve love, like with a completely different person. I fucking hate that, and I wish that guy would have been there for more than just to say good luck.
I know the show is edited in a certain way that it makes it really difficult to actually see what's going on, because I would have actually really liked to see, or maybe I got to go refresh, Evan and hers, like, first time talking besides, like, the I guess first one-on-one, because he pulled a JoJo. He was so confident that he had that rose, while the rest of us are like, no way it's going to be Jordan, because of what everything is edited to and because of what we've seen. But, like, I almost want to see how his went, and maybe there was something. I don't think there was, because there's going to be a time where she goes, hey, what do you do? And he goes, well, I help cure erectile dysfunction. And she's going to be like, weird. And that's it. Like, that's just the
weird
end.
when I forget her name because she was very forgettable, but the girl that Chris Soules picked, and then they broke up immediately because no one wants to live in fucking Iowa.
Wasn't her name Whitney?
Whitney. She, like, artificially inseminated people, and that was a little strange. But
so, like, and then we had the Juan Pablo season, his girl that he got a divorce, or not a divorce, they broke up. She was a child's doctor. So, like, if you're a doctor, maybe we're overlooking Evan. If you
let's just call doctors. Let's just call him a doctor. I'd come in. Oh, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't help them and get boners. I'm just a doctor.
Honestly, you don't have to talk about. If you're a doctor, I feel the rule of thumb is you don't have to tell people like what you work on unless you're married.
No, just say I save lives.
Yeah, because technically, actually, not only is he saving lives, but he's kind of creating lives at the same time because he's
if you're
helping dudes out.
Attractive, and this is like to anyone, just talk about how rewarding your job is. Like you edit for a magazine.
Mm-hmm. I do, and honestly, I mean,
how rewarding is that though?
Yeah, if I come up and be like, I edit things, people are gonna be like, wow. Okay.
He wants people but if I not have misspelling.
I am a key factor in trade magazines, and people are going to be like, oh my God, this dude knows what he's talking about, and he's probably going to be at Final Six if I were on The Bachelorette, which of course I'm not because I have a girlfriend. But so rule of thumb with Evan, weird looking dude, weird job, 2 wrongs in this case, I think make a right. I think he has a chance to go far.
All right. Real quick, let's just go through the deaths, the people that got eliminated in the first night. We had Jonathan, the Asian guy, maybe a little racist.
Honestly, oh, yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, he actually, went out of his way, which is why I'm excited to talk about how the ways that we can improve this. He did this thing look, this is my heritage. By the way, I don't have a small penis.
I love
LOL. And then he gets sent home mainly because a cameraman was walking by him trying to get an upskirt shot. My opinion.
I firmly believe that big dick guys or people that talk about how big their dick are, worst people ever. Horrible, no empathy, and maybe sociopaths. Even if you have a nice one, you got to talk about how small it is. Peter, he was Mexican because he had a mustache. Racist that she sent him home. Jake was black, landscape architect. He seemed like an asshole, but probably racism that sent him home. Colin, maybe the weirdest jawline I've ever seen. His teeth were way out here. He looked like a lemon, kind of, if you turned it sideways. Didn't make it. Surprise. Nick, I don't know what the fuck that is. Sal, I don't know what the fuck that is. Oh, he had the balls. Then they didn't show him again. So, rest in peace to them. R.I.P. in peace.
R.I.P. in peace.
We're running a little long. No one's going to want to watch this too long. So, do you have a top 3?
Top 3, absolutely I do. My top 3, you got to go number 1, Jordan. I mean, as much as I hate the guy, it's kind of like my feelings with his brother. As much as I hate the guy, I got to respect what he does and got to see that he's a front runner, and that's exactly what he is. Maybe this cheating scandal will break some things up. We will see. Number 2 has to be Luke, military guy who made a strong first impression. He was kind of weird on how he walked up to his intro was also weird because he walked up to a barn and put his foot up. Or was that Alex?
I thought you meant coming in on the unicorn. I like that.
Oh.
JoJo.
No, that's a power move.
And he was kind of like, hey, you're dumb. But he was making fun of her. She just didn't know it. No one else knew it either.
And then, I mean, I wanted, God, if it wasn't for that awkward kiss, I think you'd have to go Wells. But I think I'm going to go,
it wasn't Wells.
No, it was Will. I get Will and Wells mixed up. I'm going to go Wells on this one. Top 3 right there.
I'm Jordan, James, and Wells, just in terms of who she might pick. We got to talk about, real quick then, I can't say no to Santa Claus. Of course, he kept around. I think that might destroy the image that some people have of some children that may be watching that believe in Santa Claus. by the way, Santa's not real to anyone watching at home. That might not be good. And I hope that he has to wear it every time, because probably when he got his rose, he's like, fuck, do I got to be Santa Claus the rest of my fucking life?
But like they showed like a clip, and it was one of those where I was like, oh, they did like a promotion where it's like, if you go on Twitter and like you favorite this, we will release a clip that wasn't seen on the show, and it had Santa not in his Santa suit.
That's true.
But at the same time, he kept up the shtick, and there's a couple things I like about that. One, you're right. When is he going to take that off now? He's kind of stuck.
He wears it the whole time he's on.
Two, he had to do a lot of research to find the best Santa suit. Like I'm gonna guess he's not an impulse buy kind of guy, but like he probably had to go and find a lot of Santa suits. And three, I actually just thought of this. This is my favorite Santa story, which is kind of going back to how he can never take off the suit. A few years back, this is the only Christmas party I've ever been late to on my mom's side. Well, Santa came, a.k.a. my grandfather. He always dresses up as Santa. There's a bunch of little kids in my family. They all love it. Well, anyway, he comes. He does his old Santa shtick, which is usually Santa has a back problem and coughs too much and then hands out the gifts. Well, he was sitting there, and all of a sudden, Santa just went like this. No context. Santa just tilted his head back and wasn't moving. The kids in the room are all laughing. The adults in the room all think Santa just died, like that my grandpa just passed away, and they were worried because then they would have to have two funerals, one for Santa and one for my grandfather, because you can't traumatize the kids like that.
Christmas is done too then.
Yeah. I mean, I'd never see my family again after that, so it would have been one hell of a Christmas party. But anyway, if we go into week 2 and he's not wearing the Santa suit, there's no way he's getting a rose.
Yeah, you guys come on. She was misguided. I love that they show the entire season on the first episode. So I have 2 more things. Let's just talk about that. Any reactions from that? Chad is nuts. Any guy named Chad is a douchebag. That is a fact. If your name is Chad, you are a douchebag. He is nuts. He is crazy. It's going to be fucking amazing. But JoJo's going to not see right through it, because she's not a good person, and she will be manipulated, and she has no judge of character because she fucking sucks. And it's going to be awesome, and she's going to get her heart broken. And I can't wait for that. I love Chad. Villain's got a Vil. And everyone's going to go after Jordan because he's a front runner and hot and amazing, and they all get jealous. So they start being like, "Ooh, you're not Aaron." And that's going to be fun for me to watch, too, because it's not going to matter, because he's going to be going home with JoJo at the end, which is a loss for the Rogers family.
I mean, yeah, that family has had a lot of losses recently, so they don't need another one in the late game situation. Yeah, they're playing up that Chad bad boy thing, and then there's which is, it's kind of badass, to be quite honest. Like, what do you want to be known as? Like a guy who makes it pretty far, but no one really knows your name, and then all of a sudden you start talking a lot at the men tell all, and people are like, well, who were you? Or
make it far. Oh, I get you know what I mean.
Yeah, or do you want to be Chad, who's all of a sudden this badass, picking fights with everybody? I'm pretty sure he picked a fight with our man Evan as well, and then calls out Jordan, and then there's a clip of them saying he has bloody knuckles, which means
No, that's Jordan. Jordan punches a wall.
I was about to say, I think they're playing it up like he beat someone up, but it has to be a wall.
No, but he's like talking about murdering people. It seems like I'm gonna come to your fucking house. Like, once you get sent home, I'm gonna know where you live and stuff. So I can't wait for that. As upset I am that I have to watch JoJo for a whole season, it looks electric, and I am excited. One last thing, because I know no one's gonna be wanting to listen to this for an hour every fucking week. You already have to watch The Bachelor for 2 hours. The way JoJo moves drives me insane. You know those cartoons?
I did see your tweet. Well, what are you talking about there?
So right when the first limo comes up, she's like, "Time to meet the guys," and then it's like, "What the fuck was that?" And then she kissed Jordan, and then was just like fucking stumbling around and like his ass. I gotta do squats. Look how likable I am. Fuck you. You move like an idiot. I hate you. She kind of looks like the girl in The Grudge that just like fucking doing this. That's something to look forward to. I want you guys to look for that and tell me that I'm right. We're gonna do this every week. hopefully, maybe not the same day every time. Try to do it Tuesdays. Maybe have a Monday episode every once in a while. Maybe Wednesday, Thursday, whenever we can. Please watch. If you have any questions that you would like us to answer, talk about, maybe we can even get you on the show, get some guests on. Tweet us at 90 ye half nairb. I think I am.
Pretty easy to spell.
Kyle Milnamo.
You can do at Kyle. You can do my twin Shadow Melrose. You can do either or.
Go find us. Tell your friends about it. They'll like how cool we are. We have girlfriends, no big deal. And keep watching The Bachelorette.
All right. See ya.